Namaste everyone and good evening here. I'm right now I am at Seawoods, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. My name is Dr. Madhuri Patil. About me, I have done BAMS from KG Mittal Punarvasu Ayurvedic Medical College, which is at Cherni Road, Mumbai. After that, after 25 years of dabbling in the integrative medicine and everything, I decided to pursue MD in Ayurveda Samhita and Siddhanta. And my topic for the dissertation was critical study of spiritual well-being with special reference to Bruhatrei. And this and about for Ayurveda conversation, especially, I am talking here with all the audiences. And the topic which I need to talk about on is actually about Daiva Vyapashray Chikitsa. The first question that came up is Ayurveda only Daiva Vyapashray Chikitsa? My clear cut answer is no. Ayurveda is not only about Yukti Vyapashray Chikitsa, it is specifically Trivida Chikitsa, Daiva Vyapashray, Yukti Vyapashray, and Sattva Vajay. And Charak Samhita has beautifully elaborated all these chikitsa. Why, as a chikitsak, we need to focus on all these three modalities of treatments. Definition of Ayu, everyone knows, but still I will quote here: Hita hitam sukham dukkham ayus tasya hita hitam manam cha tachya yatroktam ayurveda sa uchyate. So Ayurveda is not only about treating the sick person. It is not only about sukha and dukha. It is about hita and ahita of Ayu also. How we measure it, how we decide if the person is healthy or in a prakrutistha way, or if the person is having diseases, or if the person is ill or not. So, and there is one Siddhanta of Charak. Now I will be talking a lot about Siddhanta to present my points. Why I am saying yes, why Ayurveda is not only about Yukti Vyapashray Chikitsa. Tridanda Siddhanta, Sattva, Atma, Sharira. All these three are like tripods of life on which a live human being is existing. Definition of Swasthya, Sushrut Samhita, everyone knows, but still I will quote here, especially with the least focused part of the definition. Samadosha, Samagnischa, Samadhatu, Malakriya. Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha, Swastha iti Abhiviyate. What is Prasanna Atma? This question no one has till now conclusively answered, and I think Prasanna Atma can only be tried to be understood if we focus our attention on least focused, least research, least review, Daiva Vyapashray Chikitsa of Ayurveda. Second point. The second question that came up for this conversation. Is Yukti Vyapashray Chikitsa sufficient for a complete practice? My personal view is clinically, we can always focus upon Yukti Vyapashray Chikitsa. What is Yukti Vyapashray Chikitsa? It is nothing but the rational application of ahara and aushadhi, food and medicines. They are applied. So clinical practice, even ahara part is not much looked after right now by modern healthcare way. Only aushadha dravyanam yukti or yojana or the logical application PBM based is applied clinically right now. It's not sufficient for complete Ayurveda practice is my personal view, because Ayurveda has mentioned three dosha. Apart from them, that there are two mano dosha, raja and tama. How can we treat raja and tama dosha? We cannot treat, because they are inherent part of our own existence, our manasa, our prakriti. So that point is actually beautifully explained by Daiva Vyapashray Chikitsa. And Charak Samhita is very clear. Daiva Vyapashray Chikitsa is not for manodosha. For manodosha, rajasa and tamasa, it is a sattva vajay or jnana vijnana dhairya smriti samadhi bihi. Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa is specifically for Sharirik dosha, and Sharirik dosha are three: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Now, many people are understanding Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa is something like a psychotherapy or psychological well-being kind of thing. No, it's for our specifically, primarily for physical well-being also. And Tridosha are specifically focused when Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa is applied as per Charak Samhita, Sutrasthan, first Adhyay, I think 55th Sutra. Clearly mentioned in Charak Samhita. No ambiguity about it. Then third question was, are Sattva Vajay and Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa relevant today? My personal view is very much relevant today. Here we have to first focus on Charak Samhita's Astika. What Acharya Charak meant when he elaborated about Astika. As per him, Astika is someone who believes in Karya Karana Vada. For every action, there is a reaction kind of thing. For every Karya to happen, there has to be a Karana and Karya Yoni. And if a karma or action is happening, then definitely there is going to be karma phal and karmanubandha. And this karma vipaka siddhanta knowledge, especially karma means what? The human beings perform action. And this part is specifically based on Purva Mimamsa Darshana Shastra of Jaimini. It is a karma kanda part of Veda, Chaturveda. But still, Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa can only be understood if we understand the basic Vaidika Darshana Shastra. Avaidika Darshana Shastra, they will not understand the Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa Karyakaran Bhava. Why it is applied? Because per Charak Samhita, as a Chikitsa, we are our the priority of our all actions is Dhatu Samya Sthapana. Chetana Dhatu as a Dhatu needs to be looked at. And for that, Charak Samhita said Astika. No one has seen Atma. No one knows what we were in our past life. Charak Samhita has accepted. Veda Darshana have accepted. We are coming here again and again. Physical death is not real death. And that's why we have the aspect of moksha or mukti or apavarga. And Daiva Upashya Chikitsa is also not about this moksha mukti marga. It's about counteracting on our adrushta karma about which right now in this life we know nothing about. When I was a small kid, I may have done something for which I may have suffered fever, for which I may be suffering now in adult life. But if some disease or misery pops up, Dukkha, Sushruta has said, Vyadhi are nothing but Tad Dukkha Sanyogaha. Dukkha is misery. Then there, not every time we can find the drushta or the observable reason for our miseries. For a clinical practice, it's very easy to say, yeah, this infectious agent has is found in a test, so this is the diagnosis of the disease. Daiva Chikitsa is especially in the context where we don't know what exactly caused the disease. In spite of following all the Swasthavrutta, Dinacharya, Rutucharya, and based of Ahara Yojana and Aushadhi Yojana also. Still the disease happen. And especially for Dukhayu and Ahitayu. We have to understand why we need to apply this Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa. And Charaka Astika. Again, after elaborating on this, let me come back to Charaka's Astika. We have to have something on which we have to base our treatment. We must know what exactly we are treating. And if there are unobservable hetus, we will not be able to treat. We will say it's like yadrichavad. It happened by accident, which is totally not acceptable if we have to practice Ayurveda. Charak has totally not accepted yadrichavada. For every action, there is a reaction kind of thing. That's why Yukti Pramana is mentioned. And Drushta Karma. Yukti Vapasya Chikitsa, there is a Drushta Karma which can be countered by Yukti. There is a reason. Because of this reason, because of this hetu, this disease happened. Because of this happened. Daiva Vapasya Chikitsa is about Adrushta Karma, which cannot be countered by Yukti. Because I don't know against what I am fighting, against what I am treating. But there is the disease is there. I have no way of knowing what is the cause of disease. Even for a simple dukkha, because of a tama or excess raja, there is no reason. Person may say, I'm not feeling okay. Why? Don't know. That's where Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa matters. And Ashtanga Hridaya has beautifully said, first sutra from Ragadi Rogan. So the diseases always start from Ragadi, Manodosha. And for Manodosha, when they affect the Sharirik dosha, and when those Sharirik dosha are affected, the treatment is Daiva Vyapashray along with Yukti Vyapashray. Chakrapani, in his Ayurveda Deepika commentary, has elaborated why Daiva Vyapashray Chikitsa is mentioned first, even before the Yukti Vyapashray Chikitsa for Tridoshaja Vyadhi, because of its Ashukaritva and Vyadhi Pratyanikata. We have observed it works. How it works, no one knows. We can't infer, we can't guess. There is no guesswork. So Charak here is saying about Daiva. And that's why it is important and relevant, especially right now when we are suffering one pandemic after another pandemic. And Charak Samhita has beautifully mentioned about Daiva Upashre Chikitsa, what Daiva is in Janapada Dhvamsa Adhyaya. Daiva is Atmakrutam Karma Yat Paurvadehikam. In last life or last lives, our Atma, our Jivatma may have committed karmas or actions about which we know nothing. We don't have the memory right now in this life, but still we suffer. That suffering is adrushta karma, and that karma could be shubha ashubha, it could be sat asat. And for counteracting on that daiva, Charak Samhita has mentioned purushkara. What is purushkara? The deeds of our this life, what we do to protect our health in this life, ultimately that matters. We have an option here, we have that control in our own hand. When Charak talks about daivam purusha karena durbalam hi upahanyate, if we counteract the daiva with our present deeds, we can definitely win this war over diseases. And the diseases may be category, or they may be individual diseases. So definitely Daiva Upashya Chikitsa is most relevant today. And Charak Samhita also has a beautiful sutra. Why Satvavaja and Daiva Upashya we need to look. सर्वेषामेव भावानां भावाभावो नान्तरेण योग अयोग अतियोग मिथ्या योगान समुपलभ्यते यथा स्वयुक्त्यपेक्षणो हि भावाभावो. For anything to exist or to not exist, there has to be yukti or yoga or a sanyoga of something. For me to exist here and talking with you, the yukti is happening, the sanyoga is happening between whatever I'm doing right now here at this location, the laptop, the net connection, and someone at the other side like Dr. Ramaprasad ji facilitating this meeting. So the yukti has happened, and because of this thing is happening. Likewise, if a disease is there, then Charak Samhita clearly said there is something because of which the disease is occurring. And for that, if that something we cannot observe by evidence based medicine, by the measuring tools right now we have by medical technology, and still we can't see, then that adrushta karana, that adrushta karana, or uh, and even that is ascribed to deva. Now this Vedic concept of deva, we need to focus in a different way, because the language is different. Medical language is different, Ayurvedic language is different, and Vedic language, if we understand, we will understand what deva or deva is. Because deva vipashya chikitsa is also propitiating the deva also, the deva or deities. Veda considers the natural entities when they are at their best happy form, like Deva. Varuda Devata is happy, so we are having the rains right now. When the sun god is angry, then we have temperature that are beyond our tolerance limit. So these natural entities are Deva. They are Vedic deities, Deva. And why they are so angry? Why the rains are torrential? Ultimately, all of this is perfectly mentioned in Purva Mimamsa Shastra, which mentions there is no God for creation of this universe or universal entities for our own manifestation or our miseries. We ourselves are the doers. We ourselves, as a collective force, every single living being performs some actions, and those actions create a force which is called as apurva. And this force is what keeps the continuum going. No God is the cause of creation. And Charak Samhita's astikata is exactly based on this. Knowledge being the cause of creation, the knowledge of our actions, our collective actions. The same thing in Janapadadvamsa, Charak Samhita is beautifully elaborated from Adharma. Why we are facing all these, ultimately it stops with us. And Daiva Vipashraya Chikitsa is specifically for counteracting on that deeds of ours which are causing us all this misery. How, that I will be elaborating further. But this is my point here regarding this. And then the third question, what is the importance of building Manasa Swasthya in health? Three reasons are hetu trini ayatanani are mentioned in Charaka Samhita. Artha, karma, kala. Artha, like sensory engagement. Karma, kaya, vak, mana. Whatever we talk, we think, we conduct physically. Kala, all three, ayoga, ati yoga, mithya yoga. The, these three are specifically mentioned as the primordial causes of diseases. Charak Samhita in Janapada Dhamsa has beautifully explained this whole trail from Adharma to Prajnaparad. And how Prajnaparad happens? Because of Artha, Karma, Kala, Ayoga, Ati Yoga, and Mithya Yoga. And Sattva Vajaya Chikitsa is mentioned, which is different from Daiva Vipashaya Chikitsa. Manasa Swasthya is mostly resting on Sattva Vajaya Chikitsa. The difference between Sattva Vajaya and Daiva Vipashaya Chikitsa, of course, both are actually important in building up our Manasa Swasthya. Apart from Yukti Vipashaya Ahara Yojana part, especially. Sattva Vajaya is about avoiding the causes that were the reason of generation of dukkha or diseases. Mano nigraha. If I remember, I ate something or I did something, and because of which I suffered from fever, then I'm going to retain it in that memory, and I will, next time when I am faced with that same situation, I will say, no, you don't have to do that because it's not conducive to your health. So you have to stop there. That kind of manonigra, that is Satvavajay Chikitsa. Here Buddhi part comes. Buddhi, which is a transitive generation of our Chitta Vritti. Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa, there we are not talking about Mano Nigraha. We are not telling Mano to stop, just don't do this. Here it's not. It's like a mostly like trying to get tamas kind of psychological state towards rajas kind of psychological state. Some actions need to be performed. For any action to be performed, we have to have rajo dosha slightly on higher level than tamasa or even sattva, because sattva is not something that will happen on its own just like that. It's the most difficult path. We are in always in rajas and tamas state, but to be in the tamas state is not our main goal, because tamas is what is bringing us all the miseries and the diseases and everything, because ajnana. And that's why Charak has said, uh, just give up this nastikya buddhi, because astika means you believe in the knowledge, you believe in the jnana, vidya. And vidya bruhana nam is beautifully said also in Charak Samhita. Ajnana is not at all expected if one wants to be healthy physically as well as psychologically. And Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa is like trying to get the person from tamas state to rajas state. We have to have the utsaha, we have to have the willpower to conduct shanti karma like homa, japa, tapa as mentioned in Sushrut. And we also need that action oriented willpower and the strength to conduct all these mantra, upavasa. Even for upavasa we need a lot of mental strength, that I have to do this. It's like a vrata, come what may, I have to abide by this. And when a person is in that state, it's a little bit above the mano nigraha that is mentioned in Sattva Chikitsa. So definitely, Daiva Vipashya is also important for Manasa Swasthya apart from Sattva Vajaya. And Sushruta has also said why a person, if he is suffering, he has to be Sattvavan or Sattvavatam. Why Sattva is most important part of any healing methods or modality is because Sattva is a state of our mind where with Atma Sanyoga, Sharira, Mana, Tantraka is perfectly happening. Any disease is a glitch in the process, and the natural biological processes on the physical and psychological level to happen properly. Mana, or the mana with its most sattvic state needs to be with Atma Sanyoga. Then only self healing can occur. Now that is the difference between curing by Yukti Vipashya Chikitsa and self healing by Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa and even Sattva Vajay. And again, fourth question that was raised was, does Ayurveda have an equally effective immunization as Western medicine? Ayurveda's immunizations are, yes, Swastavritta, Sadavritta, Hita Ahara, Hita Vihara, Hitayu, Daiva Vipashraya, and Sattva Vajay. Avoidance of Asat Karma, Pradnya Parada Janya Adharma in present life, or Daiva, that are the deeds of the previous lives. It here na Charak has said about when has mentioned about Daiva, he is not saying Daiva is only about your deeds of past life. The deeds may be of our forefathers. The deeds may be of the society that existed at that time at a community level. Charak is not saying it is your deed. It is your Jivatma that has done that. Pradnya Parada is not like that. Pradnya Parada is like most at individual level. What I do, what my actions were with this whole body, mind, soul composite that will affect my health as well as wellness and illness also. That is the that part is different. That and then Daiva is different. Here even Prajnaparada we can say, because whenever we are talking about Janapada Dvamsa, we have to understand the whole community suffers, not just one individual. And this suffering is also brought on by from Adharma to Prajnaparada, and Daiva part is also there. So this one thing is most important. If I want to be healthy, I will only focus on my karma and rest can just take care. It doesn't happen like that. Lokapurusha Samya Siddhanta and Lokapurusha Vaishamya happens. And this Lokapurusha Vaishamya is progressively increasing day by day and after yuga. And when it is at its peak most, we suffer or face pandemics. And Daiva Vyapashraya Chikitsa or the Daiva, it is specifically mentioned for Agantuja or Karmaja Vyadhi. Charak Samhita Sutrasthan 20th clearly mention Agantuja Vyadhi Hetu, Abhichara, Abhishapa, Abhishangacha, even Atharvana Kruta Vyadhi. Ashtanga Hruday also has a sutra where it clearly says Kama, Krodha, Bhayadi. These are the Agantuja Vyadhi. So for Agantuja Vyadhi, for Karmaja Vyadhi, Daiva Vipashraya is specifically mentioned. So my Purva Paksha is totally based on sutras or the references I have searched and taken from the there to quote here. And what Daiva Vipashraya Chikitsa is not. It is now these are my own views after studying this topic. Daiva Upashraya Chikitsa is not magical remedies, it's not mystical remedies, it's not at all religious remedies, it's not at all magico religious, it is not faith based science because Charak Samhita's Astika. Astika is not about faith, it's about the dharanata, dharana, dharana based on the Veda and the Purva Mimamsa Darshana Shastra specifically says our dharana, if based on our karma, then that karma, our karmic action producing the future reactions, that is Karyakaran Vada also. We cannot say it is a faith based medicine because here God is not involved. Atmanam eva karte sukha dukha yo. We are the creators and the makers of our own sukha and dukkha. This is the sutra in Charak Samhita Nidana Sthana Unmada Nidana. Then Daiva Vipashraya Chikitsa, it is not psychological therapy. It's not psycho-spiritual therapy. It is not even spiritual healing. It is not mystical and spiritual healing. Because per Ayurveda, Atma achikitsya. Per Ayurveda, everything that is in the realm of soul level or the spiritual level is totally out of bound of chikitsa. We cannot treat because it's avikari. That which is avikari, which never gets vikara due to sattva raja tamas imbalance or tridosha imbalance, cannot be counteracted by any chikitsa. It is not even spiritual healing because the modern way to look at spirituality is that its law has actually deviation from the Ayurveda way of looking at what is Atma, what is Mana, and Charak Samhita has clearly mentioned the difference between Atma, Mana, how both have their existence also Atma, Paramatma, Jivatma, uh, and Paramatma. Everything is clearly defined. It's not like we can't prove, so it's not there. That kind of thing is not even accepted in Ayurveda. That is why Astikata is we have to, Atma's existence is accepted by Abhyupagama Siddhanta. And because we are experiencing, and Vachasmati Mishra has a beautiful saying about this logical or the evidence based medicine persons or researchers. प्रत्यक्षं परिकलितमपि अनुमानेन बुभत्सन्ति तर्करसिकाः. Though the things are actually perceptible to us by direct perception, Tarka Rasika or the logic based people still look at the logic to justify the existence of that perceptible thing. Everyone knows they breathe, they live, there is Chaitanya, there is Chetana, and still, if someone says prove the existence of Atma, that is what Tarkarasika are. Because something that we experience every day, every second of our life. And still, if we need to be proved that from the current insufficient measurable tools or the instruments of knowledge, then it's the most disservice to our own understanding of what is evidence based medicine. This is my own view. And okay, then this is what is Daiva Upashray Chikitsa? The causes of any diseases, if they are depending upon the unobservable, and that those unobservable causes, they are to be countered by chikitsa, because chikitsa has to do the chikitsa. I cannot say to a sick person, I don't know what is causing your disease, I just don't know, so I don't know what to give you. If there is a typhoid, we can say, yeah, take this medicine. If there is, especially in the context of jara, we never know. We only think about tridosha and which dhatu and which treatment to apply. We are not looking at, no, I don't know if your jara is because of malaria or dengue or what not. Till that is known to me, I cannot treat you. In Ayurveda, it doesn't happen like that. The tools, diagnostic test, everything is for understanding the etiopathogenesis of diseases. But when we are applying that for diagnostic purposes and when we are doing chikitsa only on that diagnostic test, the chikitsa is bound to fail, because there are many unobservable factors or adrushta hetu, also called as daiva, which are causing the diseases. And that's why Bhuta Vidya is also a part of Daiva Upashray Chikitsa. And Bhuta Vidya, no one is talking, but Sushrut Samhita's Bhuta Vidya, even Ashtanga Hridaya has accepted that definition. What is Bhuta Vidya? Chetasana Upasrushtata. Chetana as a dhatu. Charak has clearly mentioned Chetana as the sixth dhatu of Purusha, or the existent live human being. And when the Chetana dhatu is affected, it is affected in various ways, not just like sammoha or unconsciousness or like that, on a psychological subtle level. Then Bhuta Bada happened, we can say, or and then Bhuta Vidya is applied. So, what is Daiva Upashray Chikitsa? Uh, Observable causes and Shardarshan Shastra. Shardarshan Shastra majorly accepted based on Veda. Uh, if we don't understand this Darshana Shastra, we will not understand how to apply Daiva Vipashray Chikitsa in which context. Because Vedika Darshana Shastra, to be understood perfectly, is most important criteria for even understanding the Vipashray Chikitsa. Forget about applying it for treating out of even clinical purview, because clinically, at least here in Maharashtra, we cannot apply the Ayurveda Chikitsa because it's most misunderstood under Black Magic Remedies Act, and so we cannot, because we don't know if the person or the patient is receptive to it or not. If the patient is receptive, then only I tell them how to apply it for their own health and well-being. Otherwise, no. And especially to those only who are astika by Charak Samhita's description, and especially those who are Vedic. For Avedic followers, it will be most difficult to even tell, and they will not even carry it properly. So it's lost. So this is the main adhara, adheya of darshanik adhara of Daiva Upashray Chikitsa. And Daiva Upashray Chikitsa, what it is based on Karyakaran Vada, especially of Samkhya Darshana, mentioned and accepted in Charak Samhita, Astika Vada of Charak Samhita, Daiva Purushkar Vada of Charak Samhita, Loka Purusha Samya Vada of Charak Samhita, Chetana Dhatuja Purusha, which is Chikitsya, not just Panchabhautik, but the Chetana Dhatu also needs Chikitsa. And the most known part of Chetana Dhatu under some claudication is coma. Everyone understands what coma is, clinically measurable and everything. But there are different parts also. Whenever I am thinking about the Charak Sutra of Vidya Bruhananam, Vidya or the knowledge which we have gained is doing bruhana of what? Then I realized it is a Chetana Dhatu Poshana, like nourishment of soul kind of thing, if to put it in English. So Chetana Dhatuja Purusha, it's Chikitsya Purusha, and for that only Daivapasha Chikitsa is. Not for Panchabhautik Sharira. For Panchabhautik, it is Yukti Vyapasha only, Ahara Aushadhi Yojana. Satyabuddhivada of Charak Samhita. Why Daiva Upashaya Chikitsa? Charak Samhita has talked about lot about Satya Buddhi. Why we need to move from tamasa state, ajnana state, the dark phase, the bhaya kind of alas, laziness or indolence kind of state to sattva state, because that is how we are supposed to evolve, and that is what soul evolution is called. Even though we may be physically affected, still we have to evolve. And the famous example of this is Stephen Hawking. His Panchabhautik Sharira was totally gone, but his Chetana Dhatu was at his topmost level. And because of that Satya Buddhi, he could write something about which we are only knowing in tits and bits from Veda or Upanishad, but he actually applied it and then science evolved. That kind of thing. So Satya Buddhi is like evolution of the individual person. And when 10% of the people in the society or a community are on the path of that kind of evolution from tamas to rajas to sattva, the whole community benefits. And when and how whole community benefits? Because the loka purusha vaishamya is reduced. How it reduce and all that, that will I will coming after. That is another topic. I will not cover it because it will then get lengthy. And then karma vipaka siddhanta. Daiva upashaya chikitsa is resting on that. Punarjanma. If we don't accept Punarjanma, there is no Daiva. Then there is Charvaki kind of thing. Charvaka darshan is Avaidika. Charvaka darshana is like you have only one life, do whatever you want. No. Daiva Vapashaya Chikitsa is based on Punarjanma, based on Astikata. There is a Paraloka and there is a Ihaloka. And we were here before in another form, and we will be coming here again in another form. That is totally accepted way of Vedika Darshana Shastras. And especially when we are talking about Purva Mimamsa Darshana Shastra, the collective force, because of the collective actions affecting the Daiva of the whole community, when we understand this whole thing, we understand why Homa as a Shanti Karma is mentioned in Janapada Dhamsa also, and Sushruta Samhita also. And this Daiva Upashaya Chikitsa is for Karmaja and Agantuja Vyadhi. And per Sushrut Samhita, the classification is Adhyatmik and Adidaivik. Adhyatmik Vyadhi and Adidaivik Vyadhi clearly mentioned. And Adibhautik Vyadhi also, at least Sanghata Bala Pravritta, yes, that is also mentioned. But in even Adhyatmik, only Doshaja part we can say. Adidaivik Vyadhi and Adibhautik Vyadhi majorly are the scope of Daiva Vyapashaya Chikitsa. There is a famous saying in Sushrut Samhita, which I will translate in English and say, no amount of logic will alter the nature of things, nor pursue the drugs of Ambashtadi Gana to exercise purgative action. So that is the nature of the Dravya. Here Sushruta is talking about the Dravya. And he has also said, Amimamsya, Achintaniya. We will never know why some herbs or medicines are working like Vamaniya, or why some are working like Virechaniya. It's a prabhava, dravya prabhava. It's achintya, and that is why it is prabhava. Same thing happens with respect to daiva. We have no way of knowing, we have no way of measuring. We just have to accept it as agama or aptopadesha, because our rishis and siddhas, siddha purusha, who were divided raja and tama, they have mentioned it. So we have to accept it and follow it. Just like a mother tells her kid not to eat that, the kid doesn't know why he shouldn't eat, but the mother knows it is a poison, so the kid shouldn't eat. And she just tells the kid, and the kid follows, and it benefits him. He never questions his mother. That kind of astikta is expected when Daiva Upasha Chikitsa is to be applied, because that is how the nature of things is. And especially in the context of Janapada Dvamsa of the epidemics, the pollution of Vayu, Jala, Desha, Kala. When Charak is saying adharma, how do we clinically understand this adharma? I, I can't imagine telling a person who is coming to me saying I'm corona positive. I can't tell him. So epidemic going on, pandemic going on, it's an adharma of previous deeds. No, 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 no. Clinically, we cannot handle a patient like that. But we know. We as an Ayurvedic Vaidyas, after learning this knowledge of Sanhitas, we know and how to counteract and dot and a community level. Then Daiva Vipasya Chikitsa is very easy for people to follow also if they understand how their actions are impacting the Vayu, Jala, Desha, Kala. It is our own collective actions, our choices, which are causing this pollution. And if we are our actions are aligned with the natural laws, especially as mentioned in Charak Samhita Yukti Pramana, then we will be most self-responsible people. And Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa is a stepping stone towards that. And Loka Purusha Vaishamya also, it is a stepping stone for reducing that Vaishamya. How? For Homa, we need all the natural resources. Even to offer Bali and Upahara, especially the natural resources, to wear the gems, we need all these natural beauties. And these natural beauties or the natural resources, we have to get in the most uh, compassionate way. We can't snatch it. We can't snatch from the fruits from the trees and say I want to eat it or I want to offer it. No, that kind of thing is not expected in Daiva Upasya Chikitsa, different modalities. Even for Homa, we have to propitiate the Devata called Agni, because it is the Agni that is the transformative force, and if the Agni is in a proper way, then we are all living properly without any diseases. And for conducting Daiva Upasya Chikitsa, even for the mantra part, not just chanting, there are some niyama, and it's like a vrata. We have to follow the do's and don'ts. We don't have to tell the patient we have to do that or do that. Already in our Bharatiya communities, especially in our Indian communities, most people are following Samavrata. Like right now, Shravana is going on, they are following. It's just like a religious thing for them, but it's actually misunderstood. It's not a religious thing, because whenever we are constraining something that is related to the nature and our own existence within that nature, we can't talk about religion. It's about dharma. It is our dharma with respect to nature, because the nature is working as per its dharma. All the dravyas, all the natural resources, all the trees, all the animals, they are following their own dharma. They never give up their own dharma. A plant never says, I have that purgative action, I will suddenly lose my dharma and I will start emitting action. It never happens. And the day the plants also lose their dharma will be the most difficult part of our own existence also. And to reduce all that, Daiva Upasya Chikitsa is also in a way most important right now, especially in the context of preservation and protection of natural resources in their most sampata form. Because sampata is a Sanskrit word. I just don't think any English equivalent word is there to define what sampata is. Guna sampata or karasan, the most heightened quality of their existence, we can say. And दैवोपदेशाची की that सुश्रुत संहिता has clearly said ऋतु कोपस्य अधर्म कारितत्वात् दैव व्यपाश्रयम भेषजम. And for that, Shanti Karma and Indriya Vijaya is mentioned. So all the three major samhitas are talking about Daivayapashya Chikitsa, especially in the context of pandemics or Kala Viparyaya. And we are just overlooking the chikitsa modalities by thinking they are religious kind of thing, but they are not. They are about our own existence in this universe, like Loka Purusha Samya. It is the best chikitsa for establishment of Loka Purusha Samya. My relationship with the Loka around me, a community's relationship with the local around it on every level, universal, social, community, and individual level, it matters. Even on family level, it matters. And then दैवोपास्याची किस्सा, मंत्र, मंगल, औषधी धारण, बली. Okay, I will elaborate a bit on bali. It's like a conditional offering. Sushruta Samhita in Raksha Mantra says Nakshatrani Sada Rupam. May the nakshatras protect my rupam or the form. Then Abhinav Chintamani is a beautiful grantha where there is a mention of Nakshatra Bali. Bali is not something, it's not related to Himsa. Bali is not like killing of anyone. No, it's not like that. It's a conditional offering. And that offering is coming from our heart. It's not like kill the animal and then offer. That is the most tamasic way of offering anything to any deity. If the deity itself is tamasic, then that can happen. But why should anyone propitiate the tamasic deities? No, we have to always look at the sattva part if we are looking at healing. Healing at community level, healing at universal level, and healing at individual level. Nakshatra Bali, 30 nakshatra. If a jwara or the fever is occurring on certain tithi, certain nakshatra, then specific sutra, mantra is mentioned. And nakshatra bali, this part now we can try to explain because Vishnu Sahasranama for jwara everyone has tried, and it works. How it works, I will not go into the details, but it works definitely. Mahamrutyunjay mantra japa works, and there are articles also about these two working. How it works, it's a different and deeper aspects are needed there. Same way, Nakshatra Bali is the part for future review and research also, is my own understanding, because no one has still now talked about Nakshatra Bali when Sushrut is talking about Nakshatrani Sadarupam. May the nakshatra protect my form. And so we have to understand this, especially in the context of Loka Purusha Samya Siddhanta. Whatever is within me is also outside me. In that kind of connectedness, we have to look at this part also, especially for as a part of Jwara Chikitsa. Then Upaharam, I will not talk in detail. Then Homa, Yes, home we can conduct, and there are some dharma shastra based do's and don'ts regarding home, because shanti karma, if they are not properly done, they can cause more harm than healing. So they have to be always conducted with proper guidance from the person who has the adhikara for conducting all these things. Even mantra has to be sadhita, or it should come from a siddha, or we have to work very hard in our own way. It's not that easy. It's like a lifetime a part of our own wellness, just like swastha we always have to be swastha vritta para. We always have to be continuously in the process of keeping ourselves healthy. And as per Charak Samhita, Swabhavo Paramavad. If we stop doing that, we will degrade or disintegrate. And for maintenance of health, we always have to be in an action oriented path. And for that also we have to from that angle also we have to look at Daiva Paisha Chikitsa path.